everybody. My name's Colton from Zimtu Capital. Today I'm here with President of Core Assets, Nick Rodway. Nick, thanks for coming. You were recently up at the project. Can you tell me what you were doing up there?
Yeah, so I was up there for 2 weeks, just getting some boots on the ground there and get a good feel for what we're seeing coming out of the ground, because obviously we're at the most exciting part of the company, which is the first few drill holes, which is always, the most exciting part for a geologist and CEO and any investor really that's involved in the junior space. But one thing that I took home from the whole experience was the weather up there was just amazing. It was beautiful every single day. That was one of the things I thought might be an issue this summer, but everything's been so great. Very warm weather, not a cloud in the sky, and we've been able to move our drills efficiently and easily. The lake has been very calm, so we're able to barge our materials down, which is saving us a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And of course, I know as of today with our news, we've been able to complete 6 holes at the Laverdiere project.
Yeah, so you recently released that news on the completion of the 6 holes. What can you tell about our viewers about what you discovered, what you're seeing in those holes, and what's going on up there?
Yeah, so the goal of the season this year was basically just to prove that there was potassically altered rock there, and your potassically altered rock is your closest zone to a porphyry core where you find your copper and molybdenum. And we also wanted to see what the extent of this skarn is, because there is a high-grade copper skarn in the area that is visible at surface. So we went in there with a prospector's approach. We did do geophysics, but this was, again, the geophysics wasn't really used for this program. It was drill what you see. That was our goal. So we went in and we put 3 holes down at what we call the French added area, where there's visible magnetite copper skarn, and we were able to intersect with those holes. There's 2 holes actually at Laverdiere. We were able to intersect the skarn, and we also encountered the porphyry mineralization with copper scattered throughout, which again, that overexceeded our expectations big time. The first 2 holes, it's pretty unheard of when you're going after a porphyry to tap into that. We had to cut our holes short because we were budgeted for a maximum 400-meter holes, and our plan is to go in next year way more aggressively and do some deeper holes. But every hole we've done increases with potassically altered rock, and you can see that in the pictures that we put out in the news release. And there's a lot of veining in the granodiorite there, and then of course we got the mineralized skarn. You can clearly see the chalcopyrite, which is that's a great news, because that obviously upgrades your deposit. Then we went to the south, never drilled before, and we encountered the same material down below. We connected with the skarn as well, with copper mineralization, also granodiorite with molybdenum even and copper. And then of course our 6th hole, which we went over our planned meters was 1,500 meters, and we went over because we just kept seeing mineralization, and you hate to call a hole when you're in mineralization, but when we had a tight budget, and most of the budget was supposed to be put towards silver lime, and we weren't really expecting to encounter such good mineralization near surface. So we went to the north adit then and poked a hole, and that, of course, that was what was out today, and it was one of the best ones for porphyry style mineralization. So we've seen a lot of alteration there, and then towards the end of the hole, the chalcopyrite and even molybdenite picked up big time. But due to time constraints, we are headed over to the silver lime Jackie area. We're going to start there, and then we're going to continue on and do the Grizzly and the and Sulphide City areas.
And so, you mentioned the extra drilling there, and so it sounds like there's a lot left to explore in that area, and I'm assuming that'll come next year. So moving over to the Jackie target, what's the timeline on that? How are we looking there?
Yeah, so back to the Laverdiere again. We'll start going at these geophysical targets next year, and because now we kind of have some reference of what we're seeing. But there's a very high conductivity area that we've only barely drilled. That was in the north adit area, which is hole 6. And then to the southwest, we got a intrusive body there, a granodiorite that's potassically altered at surface. That we haven't barely tapped that either, right? So we have about 900 meters of strike now of mineralization holes, and it seems to get better with depth, which is what you would expect with a porphyry. So we're hoping next year we can do some deeper holes. Onto the silver lime area now. We're mobilizing as we speak, and we're going to put a few holes in the Jackie target, which is It's been a high grade silver at surface, and the goal there is to track the limestone and check to see how thick the limestone is, and just see if we can get a taste of what we're seeing at surface in the subsurface, and that would be the beginning of proving our model, which is that everything we see is continuous all the way back to a potential porphyry or a causative intrusion, which we don't know where that could be, but yeah, those holes will just aim to test in the subsurface if we can connect, even with even a sniff of this zinc, lead, silver, copper mineralization below the surface. That's the goal.
And with the Jackie target, and we'll put up a map of it just to remind people where that is, but I believe there's also a couple other targets in the area. There's the Grizzly area. Is that in the plans as well?
Oh, yeah, 100%. So as soon as we'll probably do 4 or 5 holes at Jackie from one pad, maybe 2 pads. And then we'll mobilize over the hill there, because everything's been really compressed together, right? And we'll head, it's about 2 kilometers over the hill, and then I'm not sure if we'll do Sulphide City or Grizzly first.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll be building pads there very, very shortly, and we're already so excited because of what happened at Laverdiere. We weren't really expecting, that was the goal, but it's not very often that a new company drilling first time taps into the kind of things we're seeing, Now the Laverdiere it's a low grade, high tonnage story, but you do have the high grade scar in there, which is a bonus. The silver lime, of course, is carbonate replacement, and then there is a potential that we could tap into some porphyry style mineralization as well. But again, our holes are kind of 400-meter depth is our kind of our cutoff for this year, to stay within our budget, and just to give us an idea of what the geophysics means, give us better reference, and then during the winter we can then vector and put all of our information together, and then next year again we're going to come in and probably do the same thing, start at Laverdiere again when the snow melt has happened earlier, and then move over, hopefully again, if we're so fortunate to continue to have success. And yeah, I mean, we're very excited, and I mean, assays will probably be back for the first 2 holes, within a month, I would imagine. Yeah. I know when we first went to the lab, there was basically nobody around because we were a bit early. Right. And then when I dropped off samples there yesterday, there's a lot of people there now. So the game has changed. So I'd expect our first 2 holes to come back, within the next month probably. But then after that, it's going to be really up in the air for sure. Yeah, it's getting busy. Yeah,
I know assays were delayed last year quite a bit for a lot of companies, and so I mean, hopefully we don't run into anything like that. But it sounds like you got your work cut out for you for sure. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of news upcoming. Is there anything you wanted to end on regarding the Jackie target or Laverdiere or anything there?
No, I think that covers basically everything. We're just we're mobilizing as we speak to Jackie, and we're hoping to tap into the CRD there, and hopefully we have continued success as we've so far. Things have been going very well, so we're just happy to be there and happy everything's going well.
Yeah, well, we're excited for these assay results, and then also to get those first few holes in the Jackie target. So we'll keep everything updated and make sure you guys can follow along. But thanks, Nick. Thanks for coming down, and we'll talk to you shortly.
Yeah, I hope to be on again after my next field trip.
Absolutely. Thanks. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that you don't miss another update.